Hello! In this video, Zodiac Field Test Supervisor Malcolm Brown will walk you through all the steps required to install a media filter with glass media.
The next step is we will put the filter in location, but what we've put down there is a few bits of hardy plank just to give us a bit of a level playing field to put the filter on. Cool. Big tips, make sure the filter is nice and level on solid ground. Make sure it's level, solid ground, and easy access to get around to the multi-port. Okay, once you got it in position, good location, next thing to do is check the laterals, very important. There's no use pouring the sand in or glass media and then realise one of the laterals has been broken. Okay, what we do is lift the stem up, unscrew each lateral, give it a good inspection, make sure there's no broken pieces on each one. And then we have a quick inspection, make sure everything's in place, screws are there, no cracks, everything is glued in. You screw the laterals back in, don't over tight them that you crack them, nice and firm, just a little twist to lock them in position. Okay, then we lower it back in. Make sure the base is centralised in the base of the filter. And then we get the plastic cover. Okay, this is the centre stem cover. What this does is it goes inside the top of the filter, holds the centre stem in the middle of the filter, so when we can locate the multi-port back on top, but it also protects the centre of the stem to stop any of the glass media falling down the stem. There you go, holds it in place. Then we pour the glass media in top, but then has the gaps for the glass media to fall through. Prior to putting the glass in the filter, it's always good practice to fill the filter up with water to at least cover the laterals. I like to go about a third of the filter with water. What this does is protects the laterals from any heavy loading of the glass going in, and also helps distribute the glass media through the filter. Okay, the first step is after we put the water in the filter is to use the glass media. We start with the coarse. It's usually around about 25 to 30% of the bags required will be coarse. A good idea is to wear some gloves just to cut down on any sharp edges of the glass if there is any. And the other good reason we put water in the filter is also to cut down on any really fine glass dust while we're pouring it in. This is a 25-inch sand filter we're putting in. So this filter requires 7 bags of glass. That will be 2 bags of coarse and 5 bags of fine. As you notice, we've just put the last bag in, and you can see the glass being caught on the top. As we said before, that's the whole idea of this centre stem cover, is to reduce any glass falling down the centre stem. Always a good idea after filling up with the media is to give everything a nice wipe down, nice clean, remove any of the media that might have fallen down in between the surfaces. Okay, the next step is the multi-port, location of the multi-port. Always before putting it in, make sure there's an O-ring or a seal inside the multi-port that will seal around the outside of the centre stem. Then we just line him up, nice little push down and into position. Before clamping, make sure it's all seated nice in position. Work out, we don't want to clamp it too tight because we then have to run our pipe work in here, out and connect it all up. So you don't want it to crook angles, makes it all look untidy. So roughly into position, and then we'll just put the clamp on just to hold it in place.
So Mal, you said neat and tidy. Why does it have to be neat and tidy?
It just makes it look easy, nice and easy for the pipework to go in. Everything's nice and square and horizontal. Otherwise, if you put it in the wrong position, it's going to be harder to plumb it in. More fittings, increases the friction losses. So what you want to do is nice and smooth, as less fittings as possible, and just put the clamp on into position. Friction loss is as the water's flowing, hits an elbow or a fitting, it slows the water down.
Does that affect your pressure or just the flow?
It increases your total head, which makes the pump work a bit harder to be able to get the flow through the filter and back out to the pool. You want the water to run as smooth as possible through the pipework. Consider yourself running in a 100-metre race, start to finish, straight line. You do it in 10 seconds. If you've got to suddenly run up and do a sharp turn left or a sharp turn right, it's going to take you longer to get to the other end. Okay, then we put the fittings in, our barrel unions. Then we just screw in. Always make sure you have the O-ring fitted. Nice in there, don't have to screw the hell out of it. Just a nice firm seal. What we'll be doing here is visualising where the equipment's going to be going. So we're coming out of the pump, into the filter, through the media, back out of the filter, through our salt cell, straight down to the return to pool line, and then off to the other equipment. So this way what we're doing is really reducing the amount of fittings that's required. So it'll come out of the filter, up through the salt cell, and straight down your return to pool line. What we're doing first is priming our fittings. What this does is all the fittings usually have a nice shiny coating, some oils and all sorts of things. So what we do is we try and remove that. Okay, now all the plumbing's finished. First thing to do is put the filter into backwash. I always like to start the filter with in backwash, so if there's any rubbish or anything, fine glass bits and pieces or dust or anything, it'll get flushed out down the backwash rather than out into the swimming pool. So we switch that on. We have the sight glass, so just keep an eye on the sight glass to make sure that once the water is nice and clear through there, should take around about anywhere between 1 to 2 minutes to do a quick backwash. Switch the pump off, spin the valve round to rinse, and then run for 30 to 40 seconds on rinse. Once that's done, that just cleans all the rubbish that's anything left in the multi-port. Put it onto filtration, number 1, and away we go.
Thank you for watching this video. For more information on media filters and glass media, please visit us at zodiac.com.